Okay, this is the third part of this vinyl and leather repair. Now, in this step, I'm going to take the black pigment, try to carefully apply it only to the crack area. I should say that I did go back on this other crack and I applied the vinyl compound repair, the glue, because I had only put it once in here and I felt that there wasn't anything filling that area. So I went back, I didn't show this step, but I just repeated on this what I had done over here. Okay. Now, after that's done, then the idea is to heat up this on an iron. And then to use this grain, which I've selected the grain that more or less matches that. And then the idea is to heat that area. Okay, by heating this up on an oven to max setting for several minutes. Then to transfer it, and then to bring it off. So we'll see. This is where the proof is in the pudding. Okay, I'll do this. First I'll just apply the black compound, and I'll use the pause. Okay, I have applied the black pigment. I didn't have to mix color because it's black. Now, the next step, they don't say how long this takes to cure, but the next step is to heat the iron for 4 minutes, transfer to heat for several minutes, put the texture material down, and then spread it out. Okay, so I'm going to attempt that now, and I'll use the pause. Okay, this is the result. You can see it's not fantastic. First time I did the steps, I removed this after doing the transfer. I mean, I did the transfer for a couple of minutes, then I removed it. But then I saw that it was still tacky. I hadn't waited for it to dry, so I read the instructions over again. And what I did do was I just repeated it. I filled it in with the black compound again, and then I repeated the steps. So this time, when I got to that point where I put this over it, I left it there and I put a stack of books on top of it, and I let that sit for about 10 minutes. Now I believe it's dry. And you can see that the grain has been transferred in many parts of the patch. Not all of the parts of the patch. It's not perfect by any means. You know, from a distance, it's not maybe as terrible as the original. Now you can see that's still puckered up a little bit. Originally, I don't think I flattened that adequately. That's probably. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it. After it's all dried, I'm going to wait for it to dry for a day. Then I'll probably just use that leather type product to try to clean it up. I haven't, tried to do too much around cleaning this up in this area because I didn't want to disturb the repair. Now, as to how much it will clean up with polish, I will say if I can see a section there where there is a little bit of white, so it seems like the material didn't catch on there. It might have pulled away, or it didn't get into that. I'll probably just touch that up with a black Sharpie. Of course, the old repair would have just been to do the black Sharpie or to put a little piece of tape over it. This was to try to make it look a little bit better, but honestly, it's anybody's guess. You can see that it can be done with more skill, and with practice, you could probably get better at it in terms of filling those little areas. I could actually go on this and take another pass and fill those areas and then reapply it. That's one thing about this last step. You can redo this last step, but I don't think I'm going to be able to flatten this part down any more than it is. But anyway, that'll probably be the end of it here, okay? Looks like maybe a C on this job.